Fellas and ladies, we have an interesting news piece here today that I didn't think we would be running into because we've been waiting to see this guy on TV for over a year. We've seen him get drafted twice, and now he is officially gone from the WWE, and his name is Odyssey Jones. Before I go ahead and crash out on this big fella, Kenny and Omar, how do you guys feel about Odyssey Jones leaving WWE or getting fired from WWE, losing his job? Omar, let's go ahead and start with you, sir.
So obviously, like, the news came out today that Odyssey Jones was let go. It was due to allegations of domestic violence. Again, we know very little about the specifics of this, so I want to tread carefully here. But what I will say is that I think that WWE today kind of sent out a clear message that any behavior in or around this type will not be tolerated by them, which is a far cry from where the company was just even like a decade or so ago, which shows at least some progress towards accountability. And again, this is an ever evolving situation. Things could probably change by the time you watch this video, but they won't because we're giving you the most updated information. But it's crazy, man. This is the guy who just last week, 2 weeks ago, was slated to be in a big angle with the New Day. Many people were claiming that he was going to be the big new muscle, the replacement for Big E, and now he's gone.
Mr. Odyssey Jones over there can't keep his hands to himself, allegedly. Kenny,
Allegedly.
go ahead, sir.
Well, Brian, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this because, as you can see, on August 11th, WWE posted this tweet, Odyssey Jones, tomorrow night on WWE Raw. And on August 11th, I told y'all, that's what we don't care about. So right now, the fact that he's fired is what I don't care about, especially because of the reasons. Now, again, this is all alleged information, and this comes from Wrestling News on X. There was an account, and I looked up this account, and I couldn't find it. I think they might have either deleted all of their posts or something like that. But this account has been posting some interesting stuff about Odyssey Jones. If we look here on July 19th, it says, the world needs to know the real Odyssey Jones. Omari Jahai Palmer is a woman beater. This other tweet says, I could have blanked while on vacation with him, and he wants to pretend like nothing happened and try to keep me shut. Now, this goes on and on and on. This person made this account. Just weird that it would just randomly be for Odyssey Jones, and they've been posting all of this. It's a lot on this account. Again, it's been deleted, so if y'all want to check this out, come to Wrestling News Co. And there's a whole video here going through all of these nasty allegations about this man. And if this stuff is true, then he doesn't only need to be fired. This man needs to be in jail. We see here he's posting his arm. I'm not sure if they're showing a bruise or what on there, but it's just bad. It's all bad. So again, if this stuff is true, this man doesn't only need to be fired. Somebody needs to lock him up, Brian. And I don't want to see him anywhere near my TV. You know what? I can tell when something's going on. And with this man, I just knew it. So cancel Christmas on him altogether.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That account is actually, I mean, allegedly, of course, because these are all allegations. It sounds like the person that was possibly or allegedly being abused sounds like they were behind that account.
Yeah, for sure.
It sounds like she was talking in first person mode. You know what I'm saying?
She or he.
Or he.
She or he.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Because you just so random, dog. Like, all right, bro. Anyway, back to real talk wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Here we have to go on ahead and just talk about it, bro. You know what I'm saying? This guy was in the hottest angle of his career, you could say, in the WWE. We haven't seen this guy, but the thing is, he had motion, bro. His video or his one angle that they posted on Twitter got millions of views. You know what I'm saying? So people were waiting on this guy. It was a little interesting. He had a very big angle where he like picked up two guys and then did a move. Like like the guy's strong. You know what I'm saying? So it is very unfortunate to see him doing this, you know, this craziness right here. But I do have to go on ahead and ask the question, man. If there was, because this is just allegations, it's surprising to see a wrestler lose their job based on allegations, and I only say it because, like, we've seen people come back from allegations and prove the allegations. You know, sometimes they're not real. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not what I'm saying in this case, but it's one of those things where, like, if a big star like Roman Reigns gets those type of allegations, does he get let go as well? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they just? You think so?
I think he's gone for domestic violence.
But allegations though. Because these are all allegations. This isn't true. Like, are they trying to just make a point because he's a guy that people just don't really care for? Or is it because he's not a big star? Because if he was a big star, maybe he's still there. Omar, I know you got something to say. Go ahead.
So I think Brian's onto something in that. And again, I'm not going to say, like, I'm not going to really speak to the Roman example because, like, that's a specific person. He's
that again. I just used him because he's the bigger star. But yeah.
But the reality is with companies, and we saw it with over the last few years with WWE and Vince McMahon, right? There were a lot of allegations about him. Anyone else in that situation would have not only been, like, let go, but would have been, like, completely, like, you know, taken out as far as, like, their history or whatever from the company well before WWE did that back in January. Everyone knew about WWE knew about the Janelle Grant allegations and, like, a lot of the specifics of them well prior to when the lawsuit was announced, right? Regardless, Vince was there, and it speaks to this idea that if you are perceived as in a position of power or influence, or if you're, if you could be a star, we've seen this in the NFL, right? If you're a star player, you are going to get the benefit of the doubt more often than not. And that is the issue with, like, these situations like domestic violence and and just like sports and in positions of power. The company, the franchise, whatever it is usually going to do more to defend you or shield you from criticism because that is in their best interest until it's not. And when that happens, it depends. But when you are more dispensable, they are going to be quicker to let go of you because there's less risk involved, and I'm not, and again, like, this is like larger question about, like, accountability. I think everyone should have accountability on an equal level, and hopefully we get to a point with that. But I think this is WWE, though, showing at least that they will be holding this accountable for their talent, which I think is a good sign considering where they were just a few years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will say this. I don't know if they would just kind of fly off the handle and be like, wait a minute, these allegations are going on, let's just release them. I think they would have had to have seen something. They had to follow some type of breadcrumbs to actually get to the end of it and see, like, okay, wait a minute, this stuff is true. We got to get rid of them. So I really don't see them jumping the gun, especially with Triple H kind of being the guy in charge right now. Because if we look at what happened to Velveteen Dream, they gave that man a lot of chances. They gave him a lot of time, and they looked into those issues before he was released. Triple H said, we found nothing there, so we're rocking with him. But the crowd just kept pushing back, and ultimately, I think that's why they had to pretty much cut bait and let him go. So I don't know if WWE would just jump to the conclusion like, this guy did it, let's let him go. There had to be something there that showed there was some truth to whatever is going on.
That, or they just couldn't handle another wrestler or another employee from WWE getting that type of publicity after everything that's gone on. I just don't think they wanted to take that risk, especially with a wrestler like Odyssey Jones, who hasn't really done much for the business. And I'm talking just WWE in this case. I don't know his past. I don't know what he's done, but just piggybacking what Omar said, this is a guy who you're not going to keep a guy like that around and risk potentially more of the reputation of the company going downhill more and more already. So that's just my 2 cents with that. Do you guys have any last thoughts before we get up out of here?
Send that man to jail if this stuff is true, because that is a big man. We don't know how big the woman or the man is, but no matter what, you shouldn't be putting your hand on people. So Odyssey Jones, I know you watching this video, you learned an important lesson, and hopefully this makes you a better man.
Yes, sir. Well, you guys make sure to kiss that ring. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.